What's going on, everybody? AFTERBUZZ is here breaking down Insecure all the way down, okay? Are you guilty or not? Okay. Hi, everybody. AFTERBUZZ is here breaking Insecure all the way down. Are you guilty or not?
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I think that I'm done with your girlfriend.
Hey.
I just smoked a blunt with your girlfriend.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? AFTERBUZZ is here. Your girl, Ali Washington. We are here breaking down episode 6 of Insecure, Guilty AF. And I'm lit AF over here with my panelists. We are recapping it all. I'm telling you, we picked a really good one. Spicy was like, yeah, we spend this a lot, so I'm glad.
Have this one.
I'm glad. Well, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, Spicy Madi here, and next to me is...
Oh yeah, so Omari Bailey. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at On With Omari. Also, hit me up on Snapchat at Omari B.
Well, I guess this song is highly appropriate.
It's hot. It's hot. Yes.
My biggest
perfect.
question, I probably have two, but
Okay.
my biggest question at this time
Yes.
is Issa a girlfriend or no? Is she a real one?
a real
no.
girlfriend.
I guess I had to make it more clear. Is she a real girlfriend?
Is she a real one?
Omari, what is a real one? You're the guy on
I
the panel.
think she is a real one. I would have done the same thing in that situation. Molly asked her the question, are you going to cheat again or nah? And she said, nah, I'm not going to do it again. And so if I was her, I would just keep that to myself and like fall on that sword and take that burden of pain and guilt and just like suck it up, because she's got a good man, she's got a good relationship, he's on his way up, he's on the come up, he's doing his thing, he's taking care of her.
Yeah.
And you know, she had a moment of weakness. Hopefully she like wrapped it up, got tested. She's not gonna like pass on any diseases or anything. That's major like
Don't know if she got tested.
yeah, well, I'm just saying hopefully.
We hope so.
We hope so.
That would be our hope.
And so, like, if it's like a one-time thing, a one-time mistake, and the relationship is really good, and you're trying to work it out, I might
Let you slide.
I might keep it to myself and not divulge that information. Now, if it's a repetitive thing, if you're like a repeat offender,
Right.
then you're not a real one. Then you're like a shady bitch, and you should probably like get out of the relationship.
Because then you're guilty as fuck.
Because then you are super guilty.
What do you think,
Wait,
Mari?
so, okay.
What?
We're basing her guiltiness or her being not a real girlfriend based
Well,
on this, like... So if it's multiple,
moment of cheating.
So if it's multiple, you're saying that's when she's committed a heinous crime. But
No,
because
she's
it's only
committed a
been
heinous
once,
crime. I'm just saying I wouldn't say anything about it if it's just going to be the one time.
So okay, so it's like two things going on right now.
Okay.
So the good person in me wants to say that she's betrayed him and that she should be honest
Yes.
because she's not giving him an opportunity to live in truth, and she's not living in hers. So although she's being extremely selfish, and I do not think that she should tell him if she wants to be selfish and stay with him. But what she also does is rob him of his freedom of choice to stay or to go.
Right.
And because she's not arming him with all of the information, knowing
Right.
that he would probably leave her
Right.
if he knew she betrayed him, he's in a relationship with somebody that's false. She is not a real girlfriend.
Well,
Because they're not living in truth. So by real means that you're honest, that you're upfront, that I can confide in you, that you can confide in me, and I know what I am in.
no matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Can I say she's
okay.
like 99% real though?
But
Can
she's
we-
not.
But in any relationship,
seen this
it's
entire
never,
time
but
that
I
she
know
has
I was
been
gonna say let's
poor
break down
communication.
the
Okay.
inconsistencies
All
here
right.
because they're very prevalent. All right, so one, to me in a relationship, and you tell me if I'm wrong, you're my best friend.
Right.
You're who I go to. You're my first. You're my confidant. Just like you said, I'm comfortable talking to you. I can tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. And regardless, you gonna ride, right?
That's fair.
She has too many side conversations. All of them are all complaints. And then you have to think of the relationship that she just got back into that she technically was not out of,
Right.
but she was checked out, you
Right.
know?
She was checked out.
So she's had some inconsistencies
Yeah.
this whole time to where this episode I'm just like,
But she made him breakfast. It's all good.
No.
She made
no,
him the pork
we
bacon.
skipping too
This
far.
Not the
entire-
turkey
That breakfast,
bacon.
we
She got the
gotta
real
take it.
bacon in the
we gotta take
skillet.
it step at a time, up
this
until now.
entire season
Yeah.
has been inappropriate behavior. Like she knows, and even Molly was trying to warn her, like, don't do it, because she knows she
Yeah.
was plotting and planning, and
Even
like that's
emotionally,
she was emotionally.
yeah.
She had already cheated emotionally,
Right.
so she was setting herself up for the okie doke. She put herself in compromising situations,
She did.
knowing that she wanted him to hit it.
yeah.
So
All right.
come on
Okay.
now.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. And I'm not a cheater. I've only had 2 serious relationships. I never cheated like on the people. So like I would never do that. But if I did happen to slip up or slip into something that I should not have been in, and it was like a one-time thing, I feel like if the relationship is like strong and you want it to work out, I think it's more. I don't know. This sounds bad. I think it's more selfless to bear the burden of pain and guilt and like not cause pain on the other person. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna do it again. It was a moment of weakness, and I feel like just telling her that information would just cause her so much pain and cause a relationship to deteriorate when it really should not. Because I feel like it was just one slip up, one slip in, and you know what I mean? I feel
See,
like it
the
would just
only-
cause her so much hurt. Why put her through that?
Let me ask you this
You
really
know?
quick. If, say I'm your woman, right?
Yeah.
And I sleep with your best friend, but it was just one time. Is that
Yeah.
cool?
Fuck no, that ain't cool.
But
Not my best friend.
Okay,
That's
so why
straight.
does it change when like
Yeah.
he's added into the element? If I'm your woman, I sleep with your best friend.
Yeah.
It's just one time. We promise that we're not going to do it again.
Right.
One is again the best man, scenario.
Well, then I feel like I would have a problem with 2 people. Then, like if you slept with like a random stranger or your ex, not my best friend.
You have
And
a lot
know,
of,
you
like-
said that because you know I have an experience with like a best friend and a girlfriend type of thing. So that's like you're touching on some sensitive
well.
nerve right here. So we might need to move past this topic before I get upset.
get that
Before you
Didn't
get
know-
me in my
didn't know-
feelings
didn't
right
know.
quick.
Oh, my.
Didn't
I
know
you didn't
this.
know, but like all right, because now I'm getting upset. But the best friend, like the girlfriend thing, like that's a whole different story. I feel like.
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
my point with doing that was just I didn't intentionally mean to strike
You
a
meant to
nerve.
hurt me? You're trying to hurt me.
But my
I
point
see
was
you
that
spicy.
like it's it's just funny how we were giving a double standard, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like it shouldn't be based on who's in, it shouldn't be based on the circumstance. It should just be either we're gonna live in truth or we're not, and proceed accordingly.
Okay.
And
But
so
you-
no, she's not a real girlfriend.
Okay, I about to say we answered that question. We all feel the same way in this sense, except for Omari, but it's okay because I can kind of tell you on the
understand
fence.
where
You
I'm coming?
understand. I
You
understand
know what
where
I'm-
you're coming
I
from.
don't want him to go through all that pain. I
Right.
feel like they probably would work through it, but it would just be something that he would always have in the back of his mind because, I mean, you can't really let that go. It's
This
sort of
is-
like the Molly thing, but we'll get to that later. But, you
this
know.
So
is
what's
true.
worse, when Lawrence finds out from old dude or from somebody else who knows? Because he probably went and told his boys, like, or is it
That's
better
what
to
I'm
hear
saying.
from
I-
You just gotta,
Issa?
like, hope he never finds out, you know?
I-
Move. You gotta move, girl.
I feel
You
if
gotta
that was
move.
my situation, I would have just told it.
Yeah.
Just being real. Because the thing about it, I'm not going to be in a relationship and I can't say that, but I can.
Oh,
I'm not going to be
what?
in a relationship and not and have intentions on slipping up. Not saying that she did. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a relationship, especially the situation that they are, you have to be a lot more aware. You get what I'm saying? You're already in a vulnerable place, like you said. You're walking back into something that you technically did not walk out of, but you back in that thing, right? You're trying to work it out. You said this clear to him, so that means you made in your mind that this is what you're gonna do, and then you turn back around and break that same trust, but yet he's the one that has problems.
Can
You
I-
know, so it's almost like she's not recognizing her shortcomings in
Right.
the situation.
Right.
Now, I've said that I've never cheated. Can I ask you ladies the same question, or is that too personal?
And we were talking about, me and my friends are watching this, so I was getting my hair done.
Mm-hmm.
We said, what is cheating? You know, and it kind of breaks it down and say, I know you've probably been all up and through that subject, but it's almost like, what is constituted as cheating? Is it when I have sexual relationships with you? Is it when
Yes.
I just text your phone and we just talking? Is
little
it
bit.
when you hit me up on Facebook telling me happy birthday and
No.
then I say happy birthday, what you been up to? Like, what constitutes
first
cheating?
one,
I know what it is for
Sex
me.
is definitely cheating. The emotional component is kind of cheating. The Facebook messaging is not cheating.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah,
would
and
say.
I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
that once you become sexual with anybody, that's way harder to forgive than the giving somebody else your time and
You
attention.
don't think the emotion is equally important?
I think that the emotion component is important, but it's easier to forgive. So although somebody may have had your attention, you can easily say, you know what, somebody had my attention, they were courting me and I shouldn't be giving it to them, but I came to the realization that I need to focus more on this relationship. Can we make up? That's a lot easier to forgive than they accidentally slipped inside of me and I busted a nut. And can we make it? Like, that's just it's a lot easier to work through.
Visual,
like
all those components.
Yeah, and even it's a lack of respect. It's a lack of even health when it comes to your body, because Issa clearly didn't use protection.
Right.
And she ran the risk of potentially having somebody else's baby. So there's several different
And
components.
he got soap just sitting on the sink in the doggone
and she didn't get tested
studio.
before she came and took him down.
It goes down.
A couple days later. Like,
Yeah.
she's having sex now with Lauren. So who knows what she's giving him in the process.
And this is LA.
That's a lot going around LA.
Hello.
Right.
Anyways, well, okay, so we see her start with her sexual excursions.
Yes. And can I tell her one thing? Just to help you out, turn your text off of the read mode, like have the messages like on the screen. You gotta put that on the unread.
I mean,
like,
but
that's
that
gonna
was-
get you tripped up.
that was
real
intentional
quick,
for
girl. Like,
the-
you cannot be doing that. Put it
You
on
have got to.
unread.
Rule number one is don't play yourself.
Don't
Yeah,
play
do not,
yourself.
Don't you ever
do not
play
have the
yourself.
banner on. Turn your
Never play
banner
yourself.
off.
God, you cannot do that. Come on.
So
now.
we see her sexual excursions. So
Yes.
then we bust into Miss Molly. Oh, well, that didn't sound like a great transition,
happened
did
a couple
it?
of times. She got busted up. It's all
So she wakes up with, hey, Jadena. He's just popping up. What do we think about Molly's episode? She's telling him, oh, no worries. You want to come to the thing with me? Oh, sure. Oh, you got to be at work early? No problem. You can just leave your suit here. He's like...
Who, Jadena?
And my heart just went out to Molly.
Oh, you're
If
talking about
it has
last
not-
weekend, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that was last week's episode, right?
Well,
That was
yeah.
last week,
Okay,
but that kind of
the
privy
led
into
into
this,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so her like being... So we already know that Molly has like a history and a pattern of being thirsty.
Right.
And in this situation, she pulled, one of those he's not that into you moves where somebody rejects you and you go over to the other guy's house.
Right.
Hoping to get that comfort. So like she is quick to have feelings for someone and quick to throw herself
Real quick.
into a relationship.
Real
Yeah.
Like
quick.
she's probably, if we like do a little bit more research, has daddy issues. Maybe he left her. Maybe she was raised in a single parent home. There's something else going on here with Molly. But her vulnerability and just like going over there to Jared's, knowing that,
Rent a guy.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So this sexual relationship is bouncing her back into what she already had, but never really
Back with
fully.
Jared?
Yeah, back when she never really explored because she never really gave it a chance.
Right.
So I'm just like, is
And
this?
I think we were all Team Jared before
Yeah.
tonight's episode. Like a good dude, stable. Well, not McCall. Also, shout out McCall Hall, who's not here tonight. She'll be back
Indeed,
next
hey,
week.
McCall.
so like, I wasn't so much Team Jared as much as I was Molly just working on self. Because there's a lot of things that she needed to work on. I don't necessarily think that Molly should be with Jared. I wasn't pro Jared. I think Jared's handsome, but I understand her not wanting to be with him in the sense of him not being career or goal oriented or having an education. And so if that's something that she values,
Why is he not career oriented? Because he works at Enterprise. See, we're having the same conversation again.
we need to have the conversation about what's your goal. So like if you do work at Enterprise, are you trying to be the senior executive of Enterprise? Because if you plan on just being a sales rep at Enterprise, that's great for somebody who wants to be with somebody who plans on just being a sales rep. But Molly wants to be in an affluent position,
Exactly,
and have a
quantify
partner
that.
that matches. So,
Right.
and that's something that's a value to her. So if she feels like she's compromising
That's
her
a fair
values,
point. That's
she's
a fair
going to
point.
cheat with an affluent man.
Fair
This
enough,
is
fair
valid.
enough. That's fair. I mean, I like Jared. I thought he was about his business. He seems to be like a down.
He seems
to
like a
earth
he
dude,
seems
you
like a
know?
swell guy. He
I mean,
definitely
tonight
does.
we learned some new information, but
We do. We do.
Something else.
And moving on into it, as they kind of unfolded a little bit, of course, we see Issa's character kind of figuring some things out. But we also see, of course, Lawrence has started his job at Best Buy. So that's a transition as well for him. What's up with baby girl from the bank, though?
Tasha with the titties.
We didn't see her this
tonight.
episode.
No, but I'm just
think she's
recapping
gonna
up
come
until
back?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Look, Allie hasn't been here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so she's
I know.
trying to get all
I'm
her-
trying to
she's
rush
trying
this
to
through so
get
I
it
can
all
get
out.
this.
We're like,
Yes,
Yo,
I'm dipping in
why
between
bring
y'all.
up- That's old, man.
yes.
Tasha with the titties, she got played last week, and she wasn't here tonight. But I think she's gonna be back eventually, especially if this affair situation pops back up. I think he's gonna be running back into Tasha's titties at some point. But
You said running back.
run it back.
I cannot. All right, so jumping on into this episode so
Yeah.
we can stay on the task. I had to catch up, guys. I've been out of town and all
It's
kinds
okay,
of
that
stuff.
happens. Sometimes your episodes get a little jumbled
They blend
sometimes.
together.
So Issa's trying to piece things together. As Lawrence doubles on his commitment, Molly embraces a new relationship but struggles to keep the focus on the future. My biggest thing this episode, and which I'm interested to hear you guys take, what's going on with Jared?
So, okay, so we see them have this like honest conversation. She winds up spending the night, and he, you know, tries to be stern, and this is the problem. He also gave in too easily. I feel like he should have given her a way harder time for the way that she treated him.
Talking about the top of the episode?
Yeah, from the top of the
yeah.
episode. But then also, you know, giving her the cookie crisp. Then now they're spending time together. They wind up, you know, making Sweet Passionate. And then they start having this later on conversation about, like, you tell me,
Tell me
your
something, I
secrets,
tell you
I'll
something.
tell you
Right.
my
We're
secrets.
gonna play that
That
game.
all gets dangerous
You gotta
real
stop
quick.
Now-
real early on, because you don't want to know
Knowing
some things.
women's insecurities when it comes to homosexuality and whether a man is straight or bisexual, women don't give the same leeway to men if they have been sexually, explorative as much as, women get that same leeway.
Right.
I
'Cause it's
don't
hot
think
when
that
women do
Jared
it.
should have told her.
Okay.
I think that, and this is me once again having just said earlier, like, oh, Issa shouldn't be living in her, lies. She should be
Right.
telling the truth. This is me saying, Jared, if you really aren't gay, and you aren't,
that go.
you can't. I don't think a woman can handle that and be 100% comfortable with that, because now she's going to be thinking about if you're going to cheat on her, not just with women, because we already have our insecurities, but now men as well.
Where does that double standard come from, though? Because, like, when guys hear that a girl's been with another girl, it's like a turn on. But when girls hear the guy has been with another guy, it's like a turn off.
The thing about it, and Molly said something really, and I had to think about it and how I felt about what she said, but she said it very, very simple. I want my man to be a man, right? And so it's almost like, what constitutes a man? Just like you said, what says that they can't explore and it be okay? I know me personally, if I put myself in, which I mean, these situations are brought about in these episodes to make it's thought provoking. So you're like, hey, if I was in this situation, how would I handle this right here, right now?
How would you?
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
So if Lawrence at home told you that, you'd be like, well, this is it.
And see, and I feel like Issa was lying too when she said that. She wouldn't
Right.
be that way. You're that times a million when he ain't got no job. So let you find out that he done messed with somebody before. I would not want to, like,
Yeah.
either he should have been like, I don't want to be too open. Just like you said, he let her in too quick. Because when she came, just like, hey, I need to, whatever.
Like, if
you feel sorry
she
for
wasn't
her.
emotionally invested enough
To know that.
to not leave him. Because had she
Right.
invested a year or two, then found that out, she
And
probably
seen
would
who
have
he
a
was.
harder
That's why it
chance.
was easy to
Right.
dip. Yeah.
But even then, like, telling that information up front, though, does give her the chance, because he's living in his truth, it gives her the chance to walk away.
Yeah.
There will be a girl that will stay. I used to live in Atlanta. I know somebody who found out that their man had slept with another man while he was working at, CBS. And they wind up staying together even afterwards because she loved him that much. That's possible.
Do you
It's
think that
challenging,
man
but it's
is
possible.
hiding something, or do you think he was just exploring?
It's definitely hiding. But the thing
I
about
mean,
it
he's
is, it's not
though,
hiding because he was open.
But do you think he's?
But the
not
fact
being
that
truthful
somebody,
to-
the reason I say that is because had that situation, that conversation not been set up the way that it was, saying, hey, you tell me something, I tell you
Right.
something, blah, 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 whatever. Because it was set up like that, that was the only circumstances in which he told that. It wouldn't be no conversation like how we have, and it's just
Right.
like, oh yeah, by the way, one time because that's not information that you just, divulge about
But she
yourself.
told one of her, like, she said she had an experience, and then he said he had the same experience. But you asked earlier, why is it, where does this double standard come
Right,
from?
because when she told her story, it was like cute and funny, but when he told it, it was like, well, hold up.
I don't know if you guys listen to the podcast, The Read, but I was listening to it today, and Crystal had just saw this episode, and she was actually talking and commenting on Jared having, been honest. And one of the good points that they had brought up on the podcast was that, there is this double standard, but it's because men or society has created it that way. Like we accept and we think it's cute and sexy when a woman does it, but when a man does it, he's automatically homosexual. And so men don't get to explore their sexuality the same way that women get to have these escapades. But like, I can't put my finger on why is that? Why are you not a lesbian because you've kissed a woman, but he's gay because he's kissed a man? Like, how come that has demasculized him? Why? What is that? But you yet still get to be, you know,
however you
straight.
want to be.
Yeah.
That's just the way society has set it up.
But you know, that's the most sorriest excuse, though.
No,
when you really think about it, like, of course, that's a
is.
natural response because it's just like that's how society has set up. But when you think about that mess, it's really deal like.
And I think I just like asked you guys, you ladies, a question. I feel like your responses is like sort of damaging and like unfair for like black masculinity. And you were saying if you heard
That's
that
why they
about
live
your
in the
man,
shadows.
that's why they live in the down low. That's why in the shadows because they're not allowed to be free and open. And when I asked you the question, you're like, nope, couldn't do it. But if it was on the other foot, it'd be like, okay. And I feel like the conversations we're having is a reason why it is that way. Because when we ask about it, you're just like, nah.
But it's almost like nobody would tell you that up front, so I'm not gonna know unless I ask. So you can't punish me for that because you're not gonna meet me and say, hey, my name is, by the way, I've done blah blah blah. I don't know your history straight off the bat, and then you know it's a place, of course, it's TV, but I mean in a big place like this, like LA, you don't know what's going on. But I much rather you as my partner.
You as why we got a bad rap like that.
I know it, but it's almost like you as my partner. I feel like you owe me. You owe me that.
And the comment that you said that really struck me was like you want your man to be a man, and when you said that if you had heard that he had past experiences, it would take some of his masculinity away, which I think is a little like damaging and like part of the problem, honestly, a little bit. So
yeah, but it's also like don't play no games either. You know what you like or what you don't. You know what you're experimenting, what you're not. I feel like it's more open and honesty, that communication that needs to come about.
Well,
and how do you know what you like or don't like if you have never had that experience?
I wouldn't. This is good.
I mean,
what you saying now, Mari?
Oh no, I was just going to, ask like what you guys felt about the conversation that Molly was having with her girlfriends when she was talking about it with them, because I think that part of it is what other people would think and not so much just about what you would think, because if Molly hadn't shared that and that had been her private secret, she may have battled with it a little bit, but it's worse when you let other people into this secret, because now it's the same thing when you have problems in your relationship. Now you've brought the whole village in and they are passing judgment, so now you can't take back what you said and now you have to react to whatever it is that you put out there.
Like he was saying, it's a whole nother layer to it, because you could deal with it if it's just our relationship, but then once your friends know and they have their opinions and they each had like a different opinion, like the one friend, I forget her name, the light-skinned girl that was like, oh, my man's never done that, nope, never gonna happen. And then you got Kelly, who's a little more open-minded and free-spirited, and then you have Issa, who's sort of telling her it's okay, let it go.
And so even Issa ran it back after the whole conversation, went back and doubled back and said, hey, now listen, I understand it may be a lot to deal with, but X, Y, and Z. So she reiterated hers, So it's, I don't know. That's
just one of those
weird conversation.
Do you think that some of that was coming back? Do you think that Issa's just being open-minded, or do you think that some of that was coming from Issa having her own discretions? Or what is it? Discretions or indiscretions?
Discretion.
Oh,
indiscretion.
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 Her having her own drama going on, and her trying to be more forgiving and like a transference of emotion to her friend, like, hey, well, you should be more, more forgiving. Like, everybody has their one mistake that they made.
Definitely a mix.
Both. Yeah, a little bit of both. Because she was having that whole conversation about fluidity, which is like a new thing in the 2000s or whatever. So I think it's a little bit of guilt and a little bit of her being more open-minded, I guess. So.
Yeah. Ugh. Tough.
You couldn't deal with a fluid man?
Not too fluid. No.
What is too fluid?
I don't want to get there. See.
What is too fluid?
Oh Lord, fluid enough. All right, so we got that all kind of squared away. That was one of my biggest concerns. So what about?
Wait, hold on. So you agree with her that she should let him go?
I am, if I may, be on the fence about it. Only because I say that after we had this conversation. Because before I was a little bit more like, girl, okay. But now I'm like, And then, but the thing about it is, too, I don't know how he feels, because he kind of had this, like, whatever kind of thing about it. Like, it just happened, whatever, it's done. But I wonder how was his real feelings about it. Like, talking about it, continuing to talk about it, because it probably was awkward, I'm sure.
I mean, he seemed comfortable. admitting it to her.
Yeah, but I'm
He
saying
seemed
like
to have
as she
a-
drills him, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like when was it? How how long ago? This is this. Was he the only one? This is this. I mean, his attitude about it
Yeah.
seemed real like
defensive a little bit.
free spirit, but kind of like, I mean, what do you know?
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they need to be broken up because he came clean about having a homosexual experience. I think they need to be broken up because Molly's crazy. So I think that, like, no, she is. She's clingy as hell.
Yeah.
You know, she's extremely high maintenance. She's extremely critical and judgmental, and cares a lot about what other people think.
Too much,
and
though.
she's insecure as Bucks. So when it comes to him being with her, I don't think that the homosexuality component was enough to stop talking to him. I think that it's that plus all of the other things that she doesn't really like about him or that she's not secure with about him. And so she's always going to have in the back of her head that he's not educated, that he's broke, and he's might be gay too. Like she's gonna start throwing these things in his face, and she's gonna
Start
be
building the
resentful.
case.
Every little thing he
Yeah.
does, it's gonna start being torture for him. And so somebody who might possibly accept him as is and be very grateful for him just being a good person and this one experience that he did have, they might be forgiving of that.
Yeah.
So why waste your time with somebody just because, you had maybe a spark with her one time? Why allow yourself to be tortured like that? And I think she needs to move on too and get somebody
Yeah.
who she actually
Want to be with.
wants to be with. Yeah.
And want to be with her.
Not
Back.
just on the rebound, because you saw she was already cooking
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
trying to take care of
Super
him
quick,
instantly.
so quick.
Like,
God,
give it
Molly.
some time. He just spent however much time with you or whatever. Like, you can't go that hard too soon because a man doesn't want to feel like he's already in a relationship before he's in one.
That's a
Derek
that's a
seemed to be
good
pretty
point.
into it. He did
That's a
seem to
good
be
point.
into it.
How soon is too soon?
To be like that serious?
Yeah.
It depends on the person. I mean, I had a situation where I was texting someone, and then it got like a little too much, too OD. Like I was texting way too much, and she was like, "Nah," and it kind of scared her away. But I'm the type of person that likes to communicate, and likes to
Right.
check in and see how your day's going and stuff like that. And I think some people just get kind of turned off by it because you seem needy, like Molly a little bit. But that's just my style. Like if I care about you, I want to know how you're doing.
Want to know how you doing? I can
Exactly.
agree with that. What you think, Mari?
Well, I just think that you have to be careful with who you decide to care about.
Yeah.
So, like, everybody that you like doesn't deserve your care. Just like everybody who you like doesn't deserve to sleep with you. Because if everybody who you like gets the chance to receive your care and get your body, that's a whole lot of people. Because we run into fine people all the time. We run into funny people all the time. We're always going to run into people that could potentially be maybe some compatibility. And I think that people use the excuse of, well, I never meet anybody that I like. So when I finally do, you want to cling on and you want to grasp and hold on really
let 'em
tight.
know.
Yeah.
But you still don't really know if you really like this person because you don't even know who the hell they are. You just met them. So wait, figure it out. Give it some time. Like let it breathe a little bit.
love it.
Man, let me take
Let
some
it
notes.
breathe.
That's
Let
what
it
I
breathe.
said.
Like, man, I be
Can
taking
you
way
say?
too
Can you
much.
say the last part one more time?
If we look at what Molly's doing, it's an emotional reaction. Everything that she does is based off of emotion. She's quick to react however she feels. She's just gonna go with it. So even when it came to like sleeping with him or when it comes to cooking for him, these are all things that a woman should definitely be doing for somebody who has earned their love or earned their care and respect. But when you go in too soon, you're gonna do this for every single person. Because every single person's
Right.
going to potentially walk away. And you're going to hope that, that one that won't go.
Right.
But
why is
it doesn't
not
even
that
make
you're
it
just
special
showing
anymore.
them who you are, and like you are showing them that you're this caring person that likes to give.
Because
yourself,
that is
you know
you
what I mean?
trying to prove to them
Not
that
trying
you
to
are
prove, that's just-
worthy of their love.
It's not even about proving it. That's just like your natural state of being. Like I like texting you. I like cooking for you. I like picking you up and taking you to work and stuff like. I
Right.
just
But
like
has
enjoy
that
doing it. It's
but
not
has
about
that
proving.
person has that
Reciprocate
person
it? Probably not.
earned
I'm about to say,
Right.
have they
No,
earned it though?
but earned your
Yeah.
vulnerability because that's what
That's-
you're doing. You're being vulnerable in those
That's fair.
circumstances. And Molly is extremely vulnerable. I mean, it's not even like 10 minutes before she starts jumping onto the next person and starting a future and doesn't even know his mama's name. Like, learn the mom's name
Right.
first.
Learn the mama's name.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm
All
sorry, I
right.
could go on a long time about this though.
I'm gonna just stop texting bitches.
Jesus.
and-
Oh, you good? I'm gonna stop texting.
You text me. How about that?
Well,
But you raised a good point earlier. I just kind of want to follow up on it. You said you either know what you like or know what you don't like. So then do you not believe in bisexuality? I think that's a part of the larger question that we're sort of having this conversation. That's interesting.
For me, no.
Yeah.
You don't believe that you could be bisexual?
Okay.
For me, it's a no.
That's fair.
I'm like, what's his name? Randy, American Idol. It's no for me, dog.
That's a no for me.
It's no for me, dog.
I think that you can be bisexual. I think that you can love a woman and you can also love a man. Both are two beautiful, amazingly gorgeous specimens that God has created. So I can see you being so hungry and greedy that you want to dabble with both. Unfortunately, usually both genders won't let you have that choice. They either want you to be either or. So you can't, you don't get the, usually the pleasure of doing that on a regular basis. But, and society demands that of you. But I think that you can. I can see you, and because not every homosexual man is feminine and not every lesbian woman has to be a stud.
certain, yeah.
I mean, you can, still walk in your, persona, whatever kind of person you are, and still want a woman and all her beautiful supple breasts, but still like a man and all of his mandigo parts. So I think it's very possible. I don't think that I just don't think society allows you to choose. Like, I mean, the society doesn't allow you to have both. You have to choose.
Oh, society.
Interesting. Well, we
Unless
see.
you're Prince Oberyn. It's a Game of Thrones reference.
I can
Some of
know.
y'all
Oh,
got
this
it.
is
Some of
true.
y'all got it.
This is true.
So you said someone got
Some
it.
of y'all got it.
Wait, the Chrissy Teigen cookbook though. I didn't even know. Did you know she had a cookbook?
No.
Yes.
Is that how she
I'm
got
about to
John?
say, and whoever did, they know now because they plugged the hell out of
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, this shit, that was a little plug right there.
Yeah, how much
do
John
like Chrissy
paid for
Teigen.
that. Yeah.
And John Legend, they're cool.
Well, Issa's, Molly's cooking it up in the kitchen with her cookbook, but Issa shows some cooking skills too. Blueberry waffles, the
the
turkey
bacon.
bacon.
The real bacon.
And that was like a reward because we didn't even mention that Lawrence got the video taken down of the
Exactly.
broken
So
pussy
we're in celebration.
in celebration. Yes.
And when you were talking about too soon, how soon is repairing too soon? Can you over repair?
So I don't even think that
Overcorrect.
you can't repair if the person doesn't know that you're repairing something.
Right.
So like, this is the thing is a lot of times it's not even just will the person find out and are you going to break their heart if they find out?
Yeah.
And let me protect them from this pain. Sometimes you can't even help, but your energy and your nature, yeah, like your whole essence changes in the relationship. So because also a little bit too, I'm gonna get spiritual, your spirit changes too.
Yeah.
When you do that, when you,
Because you're connected.
well, it's not even about the sex, because we can have sex and not necessarily feel a connection to that person. What it is you're connected to your partner. And so when you disconnect and allow somebody else to have entered, now something's off and you carry that guilt and it shows in what you're doing. Like,
Yeah, my
your
mama called that a soul tie.
Yeah, like almost like when you have a child, you can
Soul
feel,
tie.
my girlfriend
Hashtag.
says that it feels like, a piece of her is walking out on earth when, she said she had a child. I feel like it's the same thing when you have a connection with your partner and he can feel that a piece is missing, something's gone. And it's because she's carrying, this weight, this guilt, and she's not going to be able to be this amazing, beautiful light that she once was because she has tainted it.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say that she has sinned, but what she did is she's damaged the honesty that they had built together.
Right.
All right, can I change my mind then? I
What?
think maybe she probably should tell him. I think you've convinced me. I think you've changed.
wasn't trying to
I know you were
convince
trying to
you.
convince me, but I feel like what you're saying, just for yourself, if you want to be whole again and have that light, you might be right. Maybe
Yeah,
That's in
You might be
everything,
right.
though.
You
And
just gotta be
dark
if people
cloud that's
were
gonna be over her
exactly,
head.
if
Keep it
people were a
100.
lot more open
You
and
might be
honest
right.
with
You might be
communication, we wouldn't even be dealing with half the stuff that we
You
deal
right,
with. I
you
am a
right.
firm believer of that.
Yeah.
Just keep it 100.
keep it 100.
And this
You
is the
right.
thing, you guys might be like, well, she'll get over it. Maybe she won't be guilty after a while.
Maybe.
If you cannot be guilty about something so
Might be a
shady,
sociopath.
then there's something wrong with you too.
Right.
So, it's.
Damn, you gotta tell him.
But that
East.
breakfast looked amazing, and I
It
was
really
like, dang,
did.
I wish I could eat some of that.
Well, it's funny
The
you
real
say
bacon.
that because I missed you guys
Oh,
while I was gone.
Yay!
And this is the
Wait,
one
I
thing
love
that
donuts.
Issa did not make is donuts. McCall, I miss you, but I got you
yes.
for next week,
I
okay?
love donuts
Hey,
too. This is my
McCall,
weakness.
take notes. You gotta bring us a snack
Yes.
next week. Bring us
McCall.
a treat.
I feel bad. I've
Ice
been in
cream
trouble.
cone.
Y'all been gone for 2 weeks,
No,
so it's a
I
little bit
appreciate
different.
this because let me just do a
Clutch
little-
it, and
Wait,
it's-
is this glaze with the strawberry on
Girl,
top?
yeah.
Wait,
With sprinkles.
That's good.
Where is this from?
Girl, you want to know my secret?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
What?
Wait, it's glaze on top of glaze, like strawberry glaze on top of vanilla glaze.
Yes.
Whoa.
With
That's
sprinkles
good.
on top. I wish you guys could
We're
see
sorry,
that.
guys.
But anyways.
Get some coffee go with that.
Wait,
Right.
Nick Tank, I feel bad for Issa. I know she feels so guilty. Okay, you feel bad for
You know
Issa,
from
Nick.
personal experience.
Nick, you feel bad
I'm
for
just
for Issa. What the hell? How are you feeling bad for Issa but not feeling bad for the victim? The victim here is Lawrence.
It's Lawrence.
But I
when
do
it's
like-
all said
I
and
do
done.
like what he says. Fuck society. Society is insecure. You're
Society
right about
is
that.
insecure, and that is
AF.
I think that is like the main point, and I think that's why this happens is because society. Like I think that's why Issa wrote this in here, and her team of writers.
Y'all are
Nick
going
Tank,
in on the
I
chat.
agree.
Yo, be nice to each other on chat.
I
Be nice to
agree.
each other.
Nick Tank, is it Tariq? Yep, Nick Tariq.
Nick Tariq.
She should have messed with him on her birthday night. It would have been fair game. Now, that I agree with.
Wait, she
What?
should have messed with him
On her the night that they went to the
Then
club.
you take a break. What?
That night that he was, y'all know.
What
you
night?
saying, girl?
When she had went to go talk to him at first, when they were first trying to do something.
Who,
Her
Daniel
and,
or Lauren?
When they went out.
Jarrett?
No,
I mean,
her.
what's
Daniel.
the other dude's? That's his name, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Daniel. Wait, she should have messed with him that night.
Yes.
Wait,
Why
why
would
would
that
that have
happen?
been fair game?
Yeah.
Because they would have been done. They were both done with it. She had already stepped out, and they thought that they was broken up
okay.
anyway.
So
Right,
you're
right,
saying
okay.
that 'cause she broke up with him.
Well, she technically didn't break up. She
kinda
just
broke
stepped
up with him.
right.
That's when she should have done it.
If that was when you were gonna do something like that, yeah. I would have much rather you did that than you tell me that we gonna work through something, and you just told me that, then you go and do that after. That's just me.
Okay.
I don't know.
So-
it seems similar.
Either way, it's bad. But it would have been a softer repair to the wound if you would have did it when you just left me when you was
Right.
out getting travel panties from Rite Aid.
That's fair.
That gives. I
Under
mean,
the
you
impression
kind of
that they
get
weren't together.
a get out of jail card when you are broken up for that little interim. But
I
at the same
mean-
time, it's still hard for a man to forgive when his woman has cheated. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for women to forgive also, but just men seem to be a lot more unforgiving of it.
So what do we think Lawrence's
Rachel, I mean,
reaction is gonna be to
look,
this news?
I was just gonna say Rachel didn't forgive Ross when they were on a break. If y'all know that reference, I'm all the
I
all
do.
the references
Friends.
tonight. We were on a break. Anyway, sorry. What's your question?
What do we
doesn't
think
matter
that
what
Lawrence
it
is gonna do to react to this once he gets the news?
Guilty about doing homie that dirty.
Oh, I
without
told you
a
already.
condom.
He's gonna run.
Yes, I agree with you. 16.
He's gonna
bits.
run into Tasha's titties. That's what he's gonna do. Once
You
he
think
finds-
he's gonna go to Tasha?
Yeah, for sure. Why else would she have been such an integral part of the series so far? I think they're leading up to the point where he finds out she cheated, and he runs into this supportive, empowering woman with the nice bosom.
Is
That's
that your
what I-
prediction?
That's not my. Yeah, I guess it's my prediction.
Sounds like a
It
prediction
is a
to
prediction,
me.
even though we're not at that part yet. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen once he finds out. I don't think he's going to like slap her like he did in that fantasy. That was a little
AfterBuzz
aggressive.
TV
Oh, see,
prediction.
there goes the prediction.
There we go.
Predictions. All
Now we are
right.
at
Now we're at
predictions. Now run it back for me. You say that he's
So
gonna.
I feel like if and when Lawrence does find out that Issa cheated, he will run to Tasha and hook up with her and be in a relationship with her, maybe with her next season. And I like them together. I personally want him to be with Tasha.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah.
think that Lawrence is gonna hit her. I see somebody said Lawrence is gonna slap her. Nick
That ain't funny.
Nick
That's not
Tariq said that she might get slapped. So I don't think that Lawrence is gonna slap her. What I do think is, like you said, that he's going to
Look for
find somebody
comfort.
else, yeah, to console him. And Tasha is the lady that Tasha will more than likely be that person, but. At the end of the day, they're going to break up, and I think that Issa should have thought it more out or thought it through better before sleeping with what's his name? Nick.
Daniel.
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 I'm thinking of
Nick
who just-
Tariq, she wants you to get with Issa out here.
No,
She
but
got
I
hope for the kid.
I think that's the thing is people don't think, and she just jumped into it, not thinking about any of the repercussions, and unfortunately. They're not going to be able to be together because he's not good. He can't get over something like that, and he's not going to be able to trust her again. And I don't think that he's going to be open to rebuilding the trust, especially that she did it while he was down. Like he did it. She did that while he was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so
Now he's on the
And
way
it
up.
sucks even
Yeah.
more that he's on the way up. He's even looking at rings.
Oh, that
we
was
didn't even
so
bring that
cold.
up. Okay, so he takes her to the
Ooh,
jewelry store
right.
and asks her to pick out a marquee diamond, right? So
What's a marquee diamond?
She about to break it down.
it's a very traditional diamond, but it's a how would I describe it? A triangle on bottom and a triangle on top. So it's like
Like a diamond.
it's yeah, but it's like very long. It looks
Okay.
almost like lips. If you think about the way that lips are shaped, the triangle-ness of
got
it.
you, got
But
you.
it's very like tradition, like old school, classy.
And this is
I'm
a
surprised
princess cut right
that
here?
no, this is radiant cut.
Radiant cut.
Okay.
But
How many cuts y'all got?
I know there's a lot of cuts.
Just cutting you all up.
Golly.
But I think that you know, he clearly had thought it through. Like, okay, this is what I want to get her, and you know, he took her to go try it on, and for her to have been having these flashbacks of when she was having sex with. I'm just gonna say Nick again.
Daniel?
With Daniel.
What we gotta call him?
I was gonna say with Nick. When she was having sex with Daniel, she keeps having these flashbacks. And so, like, once again, remember what I was telling you guys about the guilt? Like, this cloud hanging over, that's gonna keep
It weighs on
happening.
you.
Yeah, that's gonna
Unless
keep
you get
happening.
off your soul, which is why I changed my mind.
And you can't
gotta get
allow
it.
somebody to propose to you, to spend
Yeah.
all this money to invest their life, their future, their entire everything with you.
And you not say nothing.
And you be living in this lie. Because
Yeah.
what he's investing in is the person who he thinks that you are, not the person who you really are.
Right. Actually,
not
wait,
fair.
I'm gonna change it again. I think she cannot tell him. I changed my mind back to my original premise. I feel like she just had sex with this dude.
Then she's
now I'm
living in
getting
the
back to-
untruth.
I know she's being untrue, but like she had this one moment of physical slip up. Yeah, you did your dirt, you hit it and quit it. Maybe you can just let it go. Maybe it's not such a bad. I mean, it is bad, but maybe you can let that guilt
So
subside.
what's shadier, sleeping with another man or being a liar?
Being a
I think
liar.
they're both equal in God's eyes.
But I'm saying
Because
like,
it's
feel
like,
like you do
multiple
things-
wrongs at this point.
You do a lot of wrong things in relationships, and you don't tell your partner about every time you slip up. And it doesn't have to be cheating necessarily. Like you could like miss a bill or like I don't know, run a red light or some bullshit. I don't know. Like you mess up all the time, and things don't have to be such gloom and doom, overcast over your life. I feel like maybe she could work through it, realize she messed up, realize she wants to be a better person, and not
So-
tell Lawrence.
And then you risk the opportunity
Of
of
it.
somebody else
All right, you
telling
ain't got-
your
why you-
man
all right, you
what
got-
you've been doing on the low.
I know there's
What
like
happens
consequences,
what happens with Daniel and Lawrence cross paths?
at the party next week.
No, just in general. So like someone in LA is walking around who has been with your woman.
Yeah.
They are walking and carrying this secret with your woman that's between them
Yeah.
that you know nothing about. You're in the dark. You're on
Right.
the outside of a secret that they now share
I
together.
mean, he doesn't know that he's on the outside, so it's not gonna hurt him any.
I always
He
said
don't
that
know.
would be the
He
worst
don't
feeling ever.
know.
But you're living in.
How would it be the worst feeling if he
I
doesn't
mean, to
have the
walk
knowledge
past
to
somebody
feel
and knowing
about
that
it?
somebody
Okay.
else, I
But you
could.
guys-
And
This is the
Daniel's
other
not
thing.
gonna play Issa. He's never gonna say anything. I
not
feel
when you're
like.
not being honest.
But this
though.
is the second mistake Issa made too.
I mean-
After the cheating and lying to her man, she also told her best friend. So similar to the same thing that Molly shouldn't have opened her mouth, Issa shouldn't have opened her mouth either. Because guess what? Now the crew knows that you cheated on your man.
Yep.
They don't respect him anymore.
Right.
Because they already know that you don't respect him. So why should we respect him? And
and they got an opinion on your life story now
Yes,
going forward.
Exactly. And now their man, when each one of them got a man, now their man
don't know.
knows that you've been cheated on. So you're the only one who doesn't know.
not a
And then
great
the
look.
dude and his crew know. So you're the only one in the dark.
It's not a great look.
At all.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, somebody out here taking the
pic
pic with your girlfriend. Doing all kinds of stuff with your girlfriend.
Hey,
Okay, what's your prediction?
I think that Lawrence and Issa, as much as I've changed my mind about going to Team Lawrence, I think they're going to break up this next
They should
episode.
break up.
They're going to break up. Issa's going to tell him, I feel like she's going to tell him top of the episode. They're going to go through this breakup, the whole rest of it. And I agree. I saw somebody say he got I think it was Washington. He said that Lawrence got the new job. So Beck Taylor's on the come up. She came around at the right time with the
It's
encouragement.
all about timing.
So I don't know. It's crazy. That's funny though that you said that because I thought Nick, he said Daniel is shady. I'm sure he posted a video. Why was that the first thing that came to my mind?
I
You
think
think
he
Daniel
did
did it?
too. I accidentally said Lawrence, but what I meant to say last episode was that I think that it was Daniel, and I think he did that so that he could like try to come to the rescue and
Save it and
he
fix
knew
it.
That, yeah, he knew that she would be contacting him, but really it wound up being Lawrence that wound up fixing the situation.
Chalky White says Daniel came on her brain. Dirty man.
I can't.
That is hilarious. I think that's funny.
But not even that. She doesn't stand a chance now with Daniel. So it's like Daniel knows.
Why
okay,
doesn't she?
Because Daniel knows she's a cheater. So whatever you did with the previous
Daniel
person,
may not be caring.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if her and Daniel wanted a chance,
that's not true.
She cheated on her man with Daniel.
Lots of people are the person that is a mistress or the man
You
that
be
is
some
the adulterer
boy.
that ends up in the relationship with them.
At the end of the day, when it's all said and
A lot of
done.
people marry their mistresses.
Stuff like that. So
But
I don't agree
I
with
think that you're missing one like key component.
Which
So
is?
yes, you may wind up signing a piece of paper that or document that now makes you committed to your mistress or whatever. But cheating isn't something that is just, oh, I made this mistake. It's a expression of your character. I mean, it is who you are as a person. You are somebody who does not have self-control. So because it's a reflection of who you are, you're bringing this lack of control into the next relationship that you think that because you signed on this piece of paper that it's gone. That was in the past. That was just them.
Well, from what's the male term for mistress? From the male mistress point of view, why can I think that we are meant to be together and she loves me and she's in a relationship that she's not meant to be in? Why has it got to be an indictment of her character? Why wouldn't it be like she's coming to the light? You know what I'm saying?
So you're calling the new relationship the light.
Yeah.
So that could very well be that she realized that she married the wrong person or that she's in a relationship with the wrong person and that she wants to be with this person. But what you have to try to do is go.
I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.